There is some incredibly great news out there. And actually, it's quite revolutionary. We now have developed the knowledge and the technology to farm and build soils at the same time. We now have the knowledge and technology to graze animals on the land while simultaneously building soil. We've never been able to do that before. That's incredible. People are getting excited about it, and we see a brighter future because of that knowledge. We are going to learn what is holistic management, how it differs from conventional management, and why we, in a sense, focus on the whole. So we're talking about social values, economic values, and ecological values wrapped into one package. It's what people often refer to as the triple bottom line. Human values are at the forefront. People want security. They need to have an income. They need jobs. They need to provide for their families. They need to enjoy their lives. We also have to focus on the production that meets those needs. In most cases, that is going to include profit. So the economics in terms of managing holistically is definitely at the forefront. The overall foundation of meeting human values and production that supports it is a basis or a foundation of healthy land. But if we look at the history of civilization, it basically says if you lose your soil, you lose your freedom. What we're currently doing is not working. That in fact it's causing greater and greater problems, and that continuing to go down the same road is not going to solve those problems. The shift that we can begin with regenerative techniques is to change the focus away from the input part to regenerating the health of the soil that replaces the inputs over time. It involves a lot of thought, a lot of understanding that life is what creates that fertility. There's a whole suite of tools out there that we can apply to affect the health of the ecosystem process. The tool of rest or non-disturbance, fire, grazing, animal impact, technology, and living organisms. There are different broad types of environment that go from very arid to very humid, and those have been classified as brittle in the arid and non-brittle in the humid. And that those different types of environments and the range all the way in between them act a little bit differently depending on the tools that we use. Livestock may be used to improve land health. And the history of human interaction with livestock on the land has been the opposite. Time is more important than numbers. By that we mean it is the time of exposure of the soil to trampling, the plants to grazing, that determines whether or not livestock use on the land is going to have a positive or a negative outcome. Bare ground is public enemy number one. The basis of a healthy functioning ecosystem begins with a covered soil surface. Bare soil is going to lead us towards more and more problems, and it's something we have to virtually eliminate from the landscape. If you find yourself becoming discouraged about all the bad news that you hear and see, you might want to look deeper into this and become a part of it, because the people that are working on this stuff are having fun. At the same time, they're creating a brighter future. They're involving their children. They get to come work with them. They're involving their friends, and they're seeing the results that make you feel good. You will end up leaving it better than you found it. And that's a good legacy.